So to anyone that has been terminally online as I was in my mid-teens, this next person will probably ring a bell, and for those who don't, well, in my fashion, you know that I'm going to elaborate a little bit in the beginning to give you all the scoop and keep you informed and filled with context. So Yandere Dev is someone that a lot of us in the alt-internet sphere have probably heard of, especially those shut-in neat weeaboo band kids who wore Minecraft hoodies when they were 16. I know who you are. He created this game called Yandere Simulator, and it was a pretty niche game at first until other weird weeaboos who were more normalized because of their popularity picked it up and started making videos of it, which quickly boosted its popularity. People such as Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and maybe some other niche YouTubers that I didn't watch when I was that young, but a lot of people definitely did. So it is safe to say that this game got a lot of notoriety, especially back in 2015 when the game was first released, in air quotes, because it has been in development hell for the past 8 years, and we probably won't see anything result from it at all, which leads back to Yandere Dev. Because of this game, again in air quotes, being out for so long, it has long been anticipated and expected that at some point within this long amount of time that the game would soon be finished. But to this day, it is still in beta and it is still being built. So what's the gripe? Well look, the reason this game has yet to come out in its full release is because Yandere Dev is literally a massive incompetent loser. Let me put it into perspective. From the get-go, this dude Yandere Dev, I'm just gonna call him Dev, he was a terrible coder who built his game entirely on spaghetti code. Look, I'm not gonna claim that I know anything about coding because I don't, but even I can understand that when you just stick a bunch of things together with no practical functions, eventually something is going to fall apart at the end. And that's basically what this entire game is built off of. In fact, I recommend all of you go watch Mudahar's video that he made about 3 years ago because he goes in depth and explains why the code is such a failure. Far better than I ever could. There were also some allegations about him constantly wasting time, never actually working on the game, and even going as far as arguing with the people who genuinely wanted to support him and help him actually make progress on the game. He received so many sponsors throughout the past 8 years and pretty much squandered it all because throughout all of the development, he was the most incompetent at the center of production. But it gets so much worse. If it wasn't weird enough that he was making a game about high schoolers stalking and killing each other, amongst other suggestive topics that I'm not going to get into because YouTube TOS, well, it does not shock me to tell you that this man is actually a certified creepy ass freak. Let me start with some old news. In the past, he had tried justifying lowering the age of consent, and this is not a joke. He genuinely tried doing this and had some absolutely batshit insane defenses for it too. In an old post, he brought up the fact that someone proposed the idea to him, the whole consent laws, and that he was simply engaging in a thought experiment, and it went as follows. To break it down, he says that if there were no law, that there should be a hypothetical license that would allow people to participate if they met a certain criteria, such as having a residence, a college degree, and being employed for 12 months, something that hypothetically somebody below the age of 18 could never accomplish, right? Well, in a Tumblr post, he brought up the fact that someone made this argument against him, but in place, what if a 14-year-old met these prerequisites? Would they be then allowed to be able to participate? Would he deny them permission? And well, he obviously says that in this situation like this, that they would be allowed because they met these requirements, which is strange and foul. Look, he could have just conceded and just took the L on this argument, but instead he doubles down, and the way he justified it is in the same post is insane. Instead, he victim blames and claims she is unable to understand the points he made because she was traumatized in the past by being an SA victim herself. It's fucking creepy. The way he excuses this behavior apparently is because he claims that when he is in arguments, he goes full contrarian mode and disagrees with everything his opponent says in a debate because he can't bring himself to concede, which is a terrible fucking excuse. Well, in an amazing twist of irony, despite him saying that he was in fact not a PDF computer file in one of these statements, well, let me just tell you that he in fact fucking is, and he was recently exposed for it too. Okay, look, so this complete fucking freak, he was outed all over Twitter, and it's basically confirmed that he is in fact a fucking weirdo. And there's genuinely no one siding with him. Like, everybody ditched him on the spot. Everybody completely disavowed him, and even YouTubers who made their career off of Yandere Dev, well, they ditched the game in its entirety as well. Look, I'm not going to read a lot of these explicit snaps because, well, you know, they're pretty explicit and I don't want to get a fucking strike, but they're pretty bad, so I'm only going to read the ones that can pass. So right off the bat, I'm going to start with the funniest one. This one goes like this. "You were the one traumatizing me," he says. Keep in mind, the person who's cosplay fan right here, that's him. And then the other person says, "I'm sorry. This here is trauma. This is abuse. This is power imbalance. I am being emotionally abused by you." And in a funny fucking hilarious turn of events, this other person, the victim, says, "I'm 16. And he literally says, "You have this massive blackmail over me." And they reply, "You're 35. I know I shouldn't be laughing. I know I shouldn't be finding this so fucking humorous, but it genuinely is just so hilarious because this dude actually thinks he's a fucking victim here. And this one right here is actually fucking insane. It's so fucking unhinged. The victim is saying, "I seem desperate," and then fucking Yandere Dev. Yeah, I think about that sometimes. 17 is 94.4% of 18. So therefore being attracted to a 17-year-old girl is 94.4% okay. Keep in mind this person is fucking 35. What the actual fuck is wrong with him? How do you justify this shit? Somebody fucking cooked him in this fucking tweet too. They say, does he think being attracted to 9-year-olds is 50% okay? This is... Look, I apologize for laughing. I hate situations like these at my core because no one should have to be subjected to these absolute creeps. But Yandere Dev is genuinely such a fucking loser that you can't help but laugh at how idiotic his statements are when you read this shit. How do you justify any of this using percentages? How do you justify any of this at all? Like, there's genuinely no reason in any way, shape, or form, not even in hell, where you could ever justify any sort of massive age gap like this. The way he tries to make himself the victim too, it's honestly so deplorable, I can't help but to just fucking laugh. But not because it's funny, but because it's so fucking unhinged and unbelievable. Like, come on, man, take some fucking accountability for once in your miserable life. Alright, look, let's get very serious here for a bit. While I would say these are allegations and that we might want to wait for more evidence, it appears that he already came out with a statement. Look, this is actually on his website. It's literally the first fucking thing that pops up on Google when you search up Yandere Dev simulator blog. Okay, so this post reads as, "Hi, you've probably heard some really concerning stuff over the last few days. You might have seen a video that has left you feeling worried, disappointed, and wondering what I have to say for myself. There's a part of me that wants to say, no, you don't understand. The video was edited in an extremely dishonest and misleading way, blah, 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 blah. But no, I'm not going to focus on that. There's a part of me that wants to do what I usually do and type out a massive essay where I over-explain absolutely every single detail about the entire situation, provide context to absolutely everything, go point by point down the list of every possible fact that could make the situation easier to understand. But no, I'm not going to do that. This isn't a blog post about how actually, you see, I didn't really do anything all that bad if you consider all the facts. I'm just going to take accountability and own up to a really, really huge fucking mistake that I've made." Right off the bat, literally just a few days after the information was dropped, we get confirmation from him. It's honestly appalling to see how he states this too. This isn't a mistake you just make. This is disgusting predatory behavior. You are fully aware of the decisions you are taking when it comes to behaving this way towards someone else. Once again, this is not a mistake. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment. Let me know if I got anything wrong. Giveaway at 500 subs. I am still doing that. Love you all. Later.